upgrade.
So I bought Fortnite to save the world sometime in December, and for that event we had the vacuum tube weapons, and generally speaking they were pretty okay. Fast forward to the next event, we had the hydraulic weapons, and once again kind of overall just okay. The dragon weapons, once again kind of okay. Will the neon weapons be different? How's it going, guys? My name is Checker and welcome to today's video. We are taking a look at every single neon weapon in the game as of right now. Like I said in my previous video, we are likely going to be seeing the next two neon weapons sometime next week, but today we'll be doing a quick overview of each available weapon. Before we go and take a look at each individual weapon, we must first cover this little bit of information. All of the ranged weapons in this event will be using energy cells. Energy cells, especially in the beginning of the game, can be kind of a pain to craft. Also, all of these weapons are energy weapons by default, so they will all be dealing energy damage, which is fairly effective against all elemental types. Not the most effective against all elemental types, but fairly effective against all elemental types. So just keep that in mind for today's video. But up first, we have the Argon Assault Rifle, probably the most useful weapon in this event. Assault Rifle, Neon, shoots highly accurate, energized rounds at a moderate rate for high sustained damage. But like I said, probably the most useful and practical weapon on this list. Think of it kind of as a ray gun or a death ray, but it has more of a linear kick. So instead of it just jumping all over the place when you're firing it, it just kind of jumps up like a normal weapon. I have noticed that this weapon kicks a little bit more than I would like it to, so if you have weapon stability as one of the perks, that's definitely a huge plus for you. But overall, a pretty solid assault rifle, not the best in the game by far, but definitely a pretty good option, especially if you don't have a death ray or ray gun. So yeah, I would highly recommend this weapon. But then that brings us to the Krypton Pistol, and where these weapons start to go downhill. Pistol, Neon, shoots energized rounds at a rapid rate for high sustained damage. Like the assault rifle, this weapon does kick pretty hard, and it's actually really annoying for this weapon. It does fire at a rapid rate for high sustained damage, but in order to have that sustained damage, you need to be able to put rounds on target, and when this weapon kicks as much as it does, it's kind of hard to do that. But overall, if you're up close and personal, it's not a terrible weapon. It is kind of a fun weapon to use, just not very practical. Think of this weapon as having the kick of a judge, but the rate of fire of a haywire storm. It doesn't quite have that extreme kick of the judge and the extreme rate of fire of the haywire storm, but it definitely pushes the boundaries for those parameters. Overall, not really recommended. Moving on though, we have the Helium shotgun, the funnest weapon in this event. Just gonna say, Epic, I really like this gun, but I really hate this gun. Shotgun, Neon, fires piercing energy slugs that deal high damage at a moderate fire rate. Short range and limited magazine size. But like I said, the funnest weapon in this event. I just love using this weapon. Unfortunately, it just isn't good. The range is absolutely abysmal. The recoil is absolutely abysmal. The damage is absolutely abysmal. And the rate of fire is absolutely abysmal. Oh, and did I also mention the accuracy and magazine size? They're abysmal too. The only reason that mine holds so much ammo is that I have 3 perks for magazine size, so normally you're not gonna get that. And yeah, just not a good weapon. It's too hard to hit anything. When you do hit anything, it just doesn't do enough damage. But a really fun gun to use. I'm not lying when I say I enjoy using this weapon. It's just I wish I could enjoy it, but also progress in the game a little bit. But that brings us to the very last weapon on this list, the Neon Sniper Rifle. So obviously the thing that makes this weapon so incredibly cool is the fact that you can see through walls and even shoot through walls, but unfortunately often that is not very useful. You really don't ever have to shoot through walls. Yes, it is useful in some situations, and yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's not really something you want to focus your combat style around, right? Unlike me in this video, you don't want to be building walls just so you can shoot through them. I mean, obviously in some circumstances you are going to have enemies behind walls, so it's just kind of like a little gimmick. It is cool, it's nice to have, but it really is just kind of a gimmick, and unfortunately this weapon just isn't that good. It doesn't deal very much damage, it is very slow firing, and overall just not a really good sniper in my opinion. So guys, that does it for all of the ranged weapons. What about the melee weapons? I'll be completely honest with you guys, I do not use melee weapons that often, so I'm not always entirely sure what to look for. I mean, I have a general idea, but we have the Argon Axe, the Krypton Sword, and then the Neon Scythe. And to be honest guys, I really can't see much of a difference between these weapons and just like normal variants of them. Once again, I don't use melee weapons that often, but the Argon Axe is slow swinging, the Krypton Sword is actually faster than I thought it was going to be, and the Neon Scythe is a scythe. See, I'm pretty good at weapon reviews on melee weapons, aren't I? The axe is an axe, the sword is a sword, and the scythe is a scythe. What else could one need to know, right? But anyway guys, those were all of the neon weapons. What do you guys think of them? Are they cool? Which one's your favorite? Let me know down below, but thanks guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.